When I started in racing, this was not the goal. All I wanted to do throughout my career was win races. I would always say, I don't race for the money, I race to win. For me, that's what it's always been about. But to be part of this year's induction class is a true honor. There are a lot of other people I want to thank because this isn't really about me. It's about those who gave me the opportunity to do something I love. I want to thank Bill France Jr. He loaded me up with wisdom through the years, and while some of our conversations were tough, he taught me things about this sport that were invaluable. And Edsel Ford and Ford Motor Company. When you get to know people like Edsel, you realize that you're always part of the Ford family, and that means a lot. Working in the Holman Moody engine shop turned out to be the best education I could ever ask for. We worked day and night, but if it wasn't for people like Jack Sullivan, John Holman, and Ralph Moody, I wouldn't have developed the skills I needed. Junior Johnson is a man of few words, but I'll never forget. We were at Charlotte Motor Speedway one day, and he looked me straight in the eye and said, "Robert, I've got to have you." We worked out a deal where he basically allowed me to run my own shop, and nobody appreciated what I did during that time more than him. So Junior, thank you. I learned what it was like to run a race team in 1976 when I took over as general manager for Dygaard Racing. I worked with Hall of Famers like Darrell Waltrip and Bobby Allison and had 10 great years there. The Allisons have been a big part of my life. I won a championship with Bobby in 1983 at Dygaard, and then got to work with Davey, who was always so positive. When I bought Harry Ranier Racing, I knew other people wanted to hire him, so we talked about it, and he said to me, "Robert, I'll always work for you. You don't ever have to worry about me."
Davey Allison wins the Winston 500 with Terry Labonte second.
Robert Yates has won this race as a car owner.
Losing Davey was painful. We shed a lot of tears and didn't know how we would move on. But we did. As NASCAR started to move to more multi-car teams, Ford approached me about running the Quality Care car in 1995. I never liked the idea of two cars. Dale Earnhardt Sr. and I always talked about how, until they made two places for cars in Victory Lane, you only need one. So I wasn't fond of running a second team, but it worked out well. We hired Dale Jarrett on a handshake deal done at the Raceway Grill in Darlington. We didn't sign a contract until several months later. Todd Parrott came on as crew chief, and everything just clicked. We won the Daytona 500 in 1996 in our first race together, and then won the championship in 1999.
Dale Jarrett has won the NASCAR championship.
It was a special time in my life with a special group of people. So to you, Dale, Todd, and everyone who worked at Robert Yates Racing or in our engine shop, you have my deepest appreciation. I'm also extremely blessed to have my assistant, Christy Jones. She's meant so much to me and our family. To this point, I've talked about some of the people who have made a difference in my career, but none of that would have been possible if it wasn't for the people who made a difference in my life, my family. My brothers and sisters were all good students, but I didn't care about going to school. I was the only kid in my family that didn't make straight A's. That's when my sister, Martha Brady, stepped in. I moved from Charlotte to Wake Forest and lived with her. She told me what classes I was going to take, and that was the first time I studied and made straight A's. My sister, Doris Roberts, talked to me about going to Wilson Tech, and that was the best 2 years of school I ever had. I love physics and geometry. So, if it wasn't for my two sisters, I don't know where I'd be today. Another person I want to thank is my twin brother, Richard Yates. He's been a big part of my life, and I love him dearly. When I was working for Junior Johnson, I would take Doug to the shop. He was still in diapers, but the floor was clean, so I would put him down there and he would sort out nuts and bolts. He could sort them out and put them all in the right bin. I knew he was destined for a career in racing. Little did I know that would include working side by side with him for 20 years. Doug, I couldn't be prouder of the man you are today. I love you. I used to give Amy rides on my dirt bike when she was only 2 years old. She would sit in front of me and laugh and hold the handlebars and say, "Faster, Dad, faster." She's a great mom to her 4 kids and the sweetest daughter a dad could ever ask for. Amy, you're my baby doll, and I love you. Doug and Amy have given Carolyn and I 8 wonderful grandkids. Your futures are bright, and I love each of you dearly. It's been 51 years since I took a 4-day leave from the Army and made the best decision of my life. I married Carolyn. She's been by my side ever since and has supported me every step of the way. I worked all hours of the day and night, but she never called to say, "Get home." She let me work. Carolyn, I don't know where the time has gone, but it seems like yesterday we were in a 1-bedroom apartment trying to make ends meet. You're the light of my life. You've always been there for me, particularly this past year. Your devotion reminded me of our vows in sickness and in health. And I love you. I never prayed to win a race. I just prayed for the wisdom to help me make good decisions. My Creator didn't always give me what I asked for, but He gave me more than I deserved. I thank you for this great honor. Good night, and God bless.